Okay. I checked it. Are you on there? It's working? Yay! I could see you, Sarah. Like, what the heck, man? Okay. Jennifer was helping me too. I'm like, what is going on? Because I edited a video just the other day and it refused to let me use my microphone. It wanted to use its own microphone. So, anyway, okay, let's get this off of my screen. Okay. So, I decided I'm like sorting through my stickers. Right before the video started, I was like, because I came in here and I've got like 15 minutes and it's just long enough to not have any time, but I was trying to make my time useful. And so I started dragging it out, and then I had to like throw it all in the bin down there because I was dragging out a mess. But anyway, so I'm just going to lay that down there in that bin, conveniently located on the floor out of sight. So the first thing, I'm just going to talk for a minute. You guys, the two of you that are watching right now, can type in the chat if you guys have any questions or want me to talk about a certain thing. But I'm just going to chit chat. So I've been working on, which I'm super excited about. Jennifer already knows about this because we're friends outside of YouTube. But I got my first proposal. Well, actually, I've submitted 2 proposals now to Michael's to teach in their classroom. And I know a lot of people, including myself, and it hadn't happened to me until recently, right before I switched to the Happy Planner, that I went in there and I kind of was so indecisive and almost like panicky. Like a lot of times I do circle the same aisles and think about what I want to buy, but it's never happened to me where I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. And so, and Jennifer, again, all this stuff, but, and so I was texting Jennifer and saying, hey, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm really kind of glad that I switched back to the disc bound system. I know everybody usually just says Happy Planner, but it's really just a disc bound system because I use some of their stuff, but not all of it. But anyways, I'm really liking it, and I'm looking down at it because I wanted to show my face more. I mean, I might hold something up, but I really just wanted to show my face more and just kind of talk to you like this view because I normally don't do this view. And I haven't done it since I changed my channel to My24Plan. So I was trying to be mindful of that. But anyways, but I think a lot of people do go into Michael's and they don't know what to buy, or they start circling the aisles. And I had initially gone in there to buy a Recollections binder plan, the planner, the cover. That way, all I would have to do is move from my Filofax Domino to the Recollections, just changing the cover. And the 2 that I looked at, there was like a kind of a champagne color one, and then there was a black one that had some floral on it. But I didn't really like. Thank you, Jennifer, you funny thing. I didn't really like the wording. I don't like to have words on the outside sometimes. I don't know, even though this one does now, but it's not my favorite thing. Anyways, they had gaps in the rings, and a lot of people, for those of you who don't know, you're not supposed to pull at your rings. If there is an apparatus to use to open them, use that, because that's how gaps become in your rings, is by pulling and tugging on them all the time. And I didn't want to spend, even though you have coupons, at Michael's, I didn't want to spend the whatever it was going to be, $28 on something that was already broken, in my opinion. And so I didn't think, it made me think that the planner wouldn't hold up. Now, it could have been somebody jacking around with it. It could have been, smashed or in boxes, you know what I mean? Not handled well. As far as like shipping and like the, whoever put it on the shelf or whatever. But it was like, that's my money and I don't mind spending money because Recollections is probably one of the cheapest that you can buy. I was like, good grief, So then off I went to the Happy Planner. So now that's what I'm in today. And then also I ended up buying the notes because you get more for your money. You get another cover to use, and you also get all that filler paper, and it's cheaper to do it that way than it is to buy the items separately. And so that's what I chose to do. And I already had the cover that I'm using, which is the gold with the mint green on the inside. And it turns out I had 2 Happy Planners already. I knew I had one, but I couldn't remember if I forgot about the other one. And I already had the punch. And so it wasn't a huge investment to switch back over. But when you switch, it does take time to switch over. And so like right now, I have this little stack of papers that I've pulled out of my ring planner. It's mostly still set up because I kind of wanted to leave it in case I went back to it to where it was kind of, still in its setup state. But a lot of this stuff still needs to be transferred over to my Happy Planner. And I'm just kind of working on it a little bit as a little bit at a time to kind of get the things back in there. And I've got the expander disc on order, the metal ones that Jennifer also recommended. And I don't know how I'm going to like them because the regular expander disc, when I went to close right here, it felt like it was going to crush them. And maybe it's just because of these discs that it felt that way. And so I got like I said, I've ordered the metal ones from Amazon, and they're supposed to be here like Wednesday or Thursday, I think. So I'll switch it over. And then, you go back and forth with all these things, and I'm just trying to like dump my brain out onto the video because everybody kind of thinks about these things, like I want to have what I want with me, or, whether it's with me on the couch or out and about or downstairs in my bedroom or wherever I'm at, I want it with me. But at the same time, I don't want it to be so big and bulky that I don't want to take it with me to wherever I'm at. And a lot of people I've been watching on YouTube have done the mini planner, like chunky, and it's so big. And I'm like, if those people are carrying that thing around, which they say they are, who knows, right? Because it's YouTube, whatever. But if those people are carrying that around, that's like pretty big. And then one more quick thing. I'm kind of rambling here, but you guys can chime in whatever if I'm talking too fast or rambly. But the other thing I liked about the discount system was that you could fold it back on itself. And this new transformer, which I wasn't aware of the transformer way of doing it, and that's using multiple covers to where you transform your planner and where it looks like you have like 2 or 3 planners in one because of how you put your covers and the back cover together. But you don't get that effect if you have it in the cover, in the deluxe cover. And you don't get the flip back on itself in general if you keep it in the deluxe cover. So, yes, you can take it out. I'm not saying it's not permanent in there, but I'm just saying some thoughts that I had. But I do like the deluxe cover because I feel like I don't have to have the pockets inside, because what I did was I put the pocket right here, inside the secretarial pocket, or behind it rather, so that if I want to put it in here, I can, and all my papers are still in there. You see what I mean? But you don't have to have pockets taking up disk space if you have it in the cover. And obviously you can see my color code there and my stickers. And well, that's my project one plan. And I do have like a bigger, like one bigger sheet of stickers back here in the back as well. But I'm trying, that's why I got my stickers out. Okay, I'm going to take a breath because I feel like I'm rambling. But I have a lot to say, and I could seriously sit on this thing and like stream all day long because I love it. I'm breathing. And I'm trying to remember to look up at the light because I keep watching myself and like looking down to read, if there's comments or whatever. Okay. So the next thing is that I've tried color coding like multiple times. Tried color coding. Never works. Couldn't get it to stick. I'm drinking my cold brew iced tea. I thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Okay. So I couldn't get it to stick. Couldn't get it to stick. I was like, why? Why can't I get it to stick? Well, I don't know why. I mean, maybe I wasn't busy enough, so it really didn't matter. Like I could still tell where things were. And I'm like, I knew it. I don't know. Like I always want to know why, like why it works or why it didn't work even, so that you can learn from it. Okay. Now I do have things going on. What I was trying to say earlier, which kind of has to do with what I was trying to say earlier and my color coding, is that I'm going to be teaching classes at Michael's. I have a daily planning class. And I have a Customize Your Happy Planner class so far. And I have other class ideas. So now I kind of need the color coding because now I have all these little parts of my life that are they're like a part of the whole picture, but there's like all these different pieces. So when I'm looking at, I'm trying to find an example right quick. When I'm looking at my day, like just trying to find a short one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. So I don't know, is it backwards? I don't know if it's backwards or if you can read it. But like I have my zone cleaning on there. I have to turn it around because I can't read it, obviously, facing the wrong way. I have my phase 1 project, which is my 30 blog posts. I have for Alex to take a shower. I have to clean the closets downstairs, which are for the bedrooms and the stair closets. And then I have to go through my phone photos. Okay. Those are the few things that I had on my list for Thursday. Okay. The deal is that like my zone cleaning, I do that during the day when Dave's at work. Okay. My phase 1 project, the 30 blog posts, is done. It could be done anytime. And I do it anytime. I work on it throughout the day, in the evening when Dave's here. And even sometimes, thank you, Jennifer. Even sometimes whenever I'm up feeding the baby. If you didn't know that, I mentioned it, or I tried to mention her in my videos. I think I did. I have a 3-month-old now, and her name is Tony. And then Alex is my 4-year-old. So those two children are here full time with me. And then I also have an 18-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son with my ex-husband. And most of the time they're at their dad's or running their streets. So that's why they stay over there, because it's closer to their school and to their, more active life, work and school or whatever. But they do come here and visit me. And so anyways, So yeah, I had one graduate high school, and then I also have a 3-month-old. So how about that? So anyways, um, and then Alex's shower was to be done at nighttime. And then the closet project for downstairs was me and my husband working on that after supper one night. And then my phone photos, again, I was just kind of working on that throughout the evening. My point in saying all of that is that it's just a long list. You see that? It's not categorized in any way. Not that everything has to be, because it's kind of like the highlighting concept, right? Like if you highlight everything, then nothing is highlighted. But I need to be able to look at this and kind of know what I need to be working on. Like what is on this list? It's all just, it looks like just a list right now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's just a black ink list. The other part that I want to talk about too is this time area over here. I'm going to pull my whole planner apart by the time this video is over. Okay, you see this? So this was a day that I tried to use. I don't even know if anything's on here. That I shouldn't have showed, but I already did it. So how about that? No, we're good. I tried to use washi, cover it up, and just use notes. Well, that was stupid. You see that? Nothing happened. That's because on the back side, which when you have it laying open is the back side of the page over here on this side, is a brain dump page. So I already have like a notes section. So that was dumb. It didn't work. But my point was I was going to expand upon not just general notes, but I was going to expand upon the items that were on here and kind of put more detail, if you will. But again, that it didn't happen though. So what I'm going to try for a couple of days, usually I say when I tell you to try something, when I say that, it's usually, I mean a week. That's usually what I mean. I'm going to put these pages back in here. Otherwise, I'm going to have a mad mess in front of me. So usually when I say try something, that means a week, typically, okay? But I'm going to try, and then also I did the whiteout thing too, which I don't like that. It does not look good. I mean, it's not as prominent as maybe it just looks on the screen, but I don't like that. It took too much time, and I don't like that little stupid thing anyways. I don't like to use it unless I have to. But anyways, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do chunk of times. So I'm going to do sections, probably do the washi because that's the fastest and easiest way. So I'll washi over the time slots. And then I'm going to use like, I'll show you. I'm going to use like something like this or like these. Okay. Something like this. And I'm going to put, I'm trying to think, 9 to 1, or maybe I'll put like before nap, after nap, which means like after nap. Well, that's not even applied because half the time we're waking up right when Dave gets home. So it would be like before nap. And that's how my life is right now. I'm totally napping with my kids because I'm tired. So whatever. But I'm going to do before nap, maybe do like evening to signify like while Dave's still up, like our evening time. And then maybe like late night or something. I'm not exactly sure, but something to where I can just chunk the times together. And maybe I don't do before nap. Maybe I do like, 9 to 11 and then like 11 to 1 or something to kind of separate it a little bit more and say, okay, these are the things I'm going to do in that time. Because I can't see. It's just a long list. And it's not, when I'm going about my day, I know what I wrote down because that's part of writing it down is that you start remembering. And because I review it the night before or in the middle of the night when I'm feeding the baby. So basically I need a way to see what is on my list. So I did, and most of this stuff is for my 24 plan, but because the house stuff and the kids, the girls, and Dave, like they may end up having a different kind of, I don't know, some kind of other code if I need it. Or maybe, I don't know. But I need to be able to see at least my 24 plan because I have a lot of stuff going on with that. I guess that's why. That makes sense, right? Zone cleaning, I'm used to that. It's one zone a day, it's one line. I usually don't have to write that much down for the girls, really, right now for this season of my life. And Dave, I could write down like on the line, like project with Dave or evening with Dave or whatever. Or even in that evening section, I can make notes. So I'm going to kind of play around with that. And don't worry, there will be videos on how I'm trying and error, trial and error for that. But anyways, I did website, YouTube, Michael's, Patreon, courses, and Instagram. So I'm just focusing on YouTube, obviously, and Instagram for social media. And then I just started Patreon, which I did mention that in one of my videos, that's a way that you can support this channel and support my24plan.com, which is me, basically. Because I kind of eventually want to work into having some smaller groups to where we can really focus in on helping each other. Like, hey, this is not working, or, I'm starting a new job, I'm starting a new project, planning those things out to where how do you go about it? Where do you start? Because a lot of people have problems getting started because they know what they need to do. They know, like, for my phase 1 project, I know I need to write 30 blog posts, but where do you start when you pick up a project like that? And so I wanted it to be smaller groups and also accountability. That's what I wanted. I wanted to have somewhere that we could check in and say, hey, and they have kind of like a chat area in Patreon now. It's come a long ways actually since the year that I've been off of YouTube. And so I'm still kind of tweaking that and learning more about the new things that Patreon offers. But that was my goal for that. But yeah, so I'm working on the 30 blog posts, and then I'm working on uploading videos, and I'm working on planning out the classes for Michael's, as well as I have 4 class times right now on the books. Well, pretty much. And then I'm going to have 3 more, I think, like the following week. So I'm planning the classes, and I've got to note down like when I got to go to Michael's and actually teach, what to bring, what to prep, like, for the actual evening. And then I got to go promote the classes. I had to go and talk to people at Michael's. So there's like all these components just with that one thing. That's what initiated color coding again. And then obviously Instagram, like I'm trying to be active on there. I suck at it, but I'm trying. So I'm using this, which I have another thing over there. I might grab it in a second. But I bought this. You've seen this at Michael's 100 times, right? I bought this a while back, and I don't use this part of it. I mean, it's a handy handle, whatever. But anyways, and I got this at Michael's. No, this is not sponsored by Michael's, by the way. Which when you teach for them, you're not an employee there. I just want to say that. But it's a Uniball something. Here we go. Uniball, Sanford Uniball Gel Impact. And it's a 1.0 millimeter gold. So I kind of use it to make headers and like decorate more, not like an everyday writer, obviously. And then what I did is I picked, let's see, I don't have yellow. I didn't have yellow. Can you imagine that? I don't have like an old school yellow highlighter just laying around. I'll have to buy me that. I don't know why I have this one in here, but so I picked one tool for each of the colors. So purple, oops, they're jumping out of my hand. I picked a Sharpie pen, which that's going to get changed because that's not going to work. And then a orange mild liner. I like these. I got this in a set. Where did I get it? I have to think about where I got it. I got them in a set. Target? I don't know. I have to think a little harder. Maybe Amazon? But I really like them. They're basically fine liners, like a Stadler. You see that? It's like a felt tip, basically. But I do like how they write and all the colors that they have in there. This is kind of a green friction highlighter and then a blue Stadler. So I wanted, which obviously, again, I don't have a yellow, so I got to get that. But basically, I'm going to grab that other thing. Hold on a second. If I can get my chair to back up. I basically went through my pens last night and thought maybe that was part of the reason why I couldn't get it to stick, was because I didn't want to carry around 5,000 pens, okay? It's annoying. I don't like it. If I don't have them on me, then I don't do it. And so this is itty bitty, and I'm just going to have, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read all that. Hold on, I'm going to take a breath again. I would love to afford all the lovely painter stickers and washies. Oh. Yeah, so I live in Alaska, Sarah, and we don't have a Dollar Tree. I know. When I say that to people, they're like, oh, you poor thing. Like, big deal. But you know what? It is a big deal. Like, I want to be able to go to the Dollar Tree. The thing is, there are options for you, Sarah. Like, I guess you are in the UK. So that's a little different. I've never lived overseas. But yeah, you probably don't have a Dollar Tree. But they're like, as far as like, well, there's a lot of Etsy shops. So that's the other thing. Okay, I'll pause what I'm saying and I'll respond to you. This stuff that I put in my hair, this gel stuff is kind of hardening in a little places because it's not like all the way dry. And so it's bothering me. Sorry, it's like the texture is bothering me. Anyways, I'll try to stop doing that. What am I talking about? Etsy. What I learned, because I'm, even if you have $1 zillion, you don't want to give it all away, right? Okay. But what I've learned is to shop smart, okay, on Etsy. And I would recommend Etsy because you're in the UK, and Amazon. I'm sure that I think Amazon well, I don't know if they have a separate UK part, but isn't there like a separate Japan part or something? I don't know. But anyways, let's just talk about Etsy first. On Etsy, watch for $2 Tuesdays, flash sales. Follow people. I'm going to show you this. You guys are just going to laugh. I can't remember. Let me think for a minute. You have to shop when there's sales, okay? And you have to favorite people, and you have to keep notes about things so that you can remember. Why? When you favorite a shop, you can make a note in your planner that, whatever it is about that shop, like I buy cheap washi from them, or I buy, functional stickers, for everyday planning with from this girl, or whatever it is. Do you see what I'm saying? I found, what was the title? Let me think for just a second. I wrote down all these people. Oh, I think the thing was, it was a thread on Facebook. Was this on there? You guys are going to laugh. Are you ready to laugh at me? It was a thread on Facebook about people wanting followers on Facebook, people who had planning, and not on, planning Instagram accounts. Okay. So they were sharing their Instagram handle on this Facebook thread. Okay. I got it out right. Look at all these names that I wrote down. Front and back, I wrote these names down. Okay. Why did I do that? Well, first of all, I can kind of work. This is stuff that I kind of tick away at when I'm tired of reading for writing a blog post, or just want to have some fun and looking up other people's Instagram accounts, finding more people to follow, that type of thing. Then I can tick away at this. Okay. People on Etsy, most of those shop owners have Instagram accounts. And a lot of times they'll say, hey, I'm having a sale. A lot of those people, like the one I shop at, she's in the United States, but it's Caden's mom shops or shop. I don't know how it is. Anyways, Caden's mom shops. That's what it is. And her Instagram is Caden's mom plans. It's kind of funny. So she has sales all the time. Sometimes people will have a sale and it's like, oh, for the next 24 hours. And you're like, wait a second, I didn't budget for that. Like, but if you start keeping notes about things like that, and you can see, trends, like, okay, like I know Caden's mom shops always has sales. And I know now like what type of stickers she has, and that I do like a lot of them. So you just kind of keep notes about things like that. And maybe, I don't spend, like if you just spend $20, because of course you have to pay for the stupid shipping. But even if you just spend like, $20 a month or $20, I usually keep my orders around $20. I like each order. The other thing is to make it worth your while for shipping. So if you add, it's like, okay, can I add one more sheet and the shipping not go up? When does the shipping go up with this person? You see what I'm saying? So I keep that in mind too, because if I can add one or two more sheets and the shipping doesn't, increase, then I'm going to do that and get my money's worth, because I have to pay that shipping anyways. Do you see what I mean? So just keeping notes like that, and, look at people on Instagram, follow people on Instagram. And a lot of times too, in their description, like on their main page, on their Etsy, in the Etsy app, under their shop name, they have that little blurb like, hey, welcome, whatever, something. Sometimes they have codes in there. I watched this girl, Nikki Plans, on YouTube, and she has a lot of codes in her description box below her videos. And so if there's any type of information like that that you want specifically, Sarah, I will gather that for you. I don't mind doing that for you, because I could use it too. But she has a ton of codes, and saving 10%, saving 20%, 15% on your first order, or $5 off your order when you spend 10, or whatever it is, like all kinds of stuff that she has in her description box. And that stuff's always there. So there are codes to help you save a little bit too. And just also, I showed in one of my videos where I'm going to reach it, fall out of my chair, where I show that I use these little photo albums, and I flip through here. Oh, you're welcome. I flip through here, like, did I get everything? Did I put everything in my planner? It's almost as a trigger for my daily planning. Did I get everything? Okay. Oh yes, I forgot my coffee cup. You know what I mean? And so look at the areas, I call them value areas, which I go over this all the time. And everything I talk about, I'm always talking about value areas. Go over your value areas. What are you writing down in your planner all the time? What are you writing down? I write down, for example, zone cleaning. So I use these little bottles. There's going to be a little bit of a glare probably. I use these bottles a lot to I'll just put that bottle on there and write bathroom, whatever, or kitchen, whatever it is. Dishwasher. That is like a full-time job. Okay. Isn't it? So I have these, unload, load, whatever. I write that down. I have to hand wash some dishes. And so I'll just put this on there. And if that's applicable for that day, and even if it's not, which it normally is, I at least have bottles in the sink. So this is just like my signifier for hand washing. But things that I write down a lot, vacuuming. So I bought vacuums because I vacuum upstairs and downstairs. And so that's just a quick thing. Laundry, that's another big one. So I have various laundry types. Washers, I guess it could be a dryer. I have baskets for folding, put laundry away. And then I have just like some clothesline. And those are just the ones that I have right now in this photo album. Dinners, like dinner plates, these bathtubs. Oh my gosh, because now I have 2 girls that I have to bathe. Look at these. Aren't they so cute? I love them. I know it's probably a little bit blurry because am I doing this on a dishwasher? That's funny. My mom and dad had a dishwasher in our home and didn't use it. They think that thing doesn't work. That they could do a better job. So that's what we had to live by. Stupid. Just stupid. Like gas icons. So my point is washing your car, getting gas, my refill for my prescription, doing my nails. Okay. So obviously you don't need a nail sticker. Okay. You don't need that. Well, I thought I needed it. But anyway, my point is make a list. I'm still trying to save you money, Sarah, and make you a smart shopper. You make a list of things that you do, value areas, meaning, okay, you say you have three kids. I'm sure you work, obviously. But you just kind of make those lists of what you write down every day. The value areas is work, kids, yourself. If you have any hobbies that you do on the side, like maybe you have a little bit of planning stuff or whatever, but things that you just write over and over again. I actually ordered some of these doctor's appointments. I only ordered 1 sheet of them because with a newborn baby, I'm going to have to go to the doctor a lot that first year. You have to take them and get their shots every 5 seconds. So I just try to use things like that. But like these little bows, asterisks, where did that other page go? These little push pins, stars, things like that. It's almost like a color coding if you want to, or you could say, okay, I do a push pin when I have a certain thing come up, or I use the circle ones. So you can make kind of your own signifiers with different stickers that you might have on hand. But I'm sure too, like at the store, you can find little booklets of those things, kind of a little bit more generic, and you can make your own type of stickers. Another option too is the Avery labels. Even those ones that come in a package. Not these, obviously, because these are, oh no, here, look, I have some. Like this, which you can't really see like a sheet. Let me take it out. But you can buy these little ones and kind of, maybe I can't draw a stick person. Do you know what I mean? Can you see, like, there's the size of them and there's different ones or whatever, and you can pick these up at Walmart even. But you can do stuff like that and then, you know, color them and then cut them, you know, make some squares or whatever and say, okay, these are the blue ones. These signify that I have to go to work or something, a work task that you need to do, or blues for this kid, purples for this kid, and pinks for this kid, or whatever it is. And just kind of make do. Or stamps. Stamps is another option. They're kind of pricier. I don't know what the, you know, consignment store options are there. You're welcome. Kind of crafty like that. Even though I can't draw. I can't draw the calligraphy. I can't do any of that. I don't know how. But you just kind of buy what you actually will use at first, and then you start buying other stuff. But you just constantly, and it's fun to look at. Sometimes I kind of don't want to look at Etsy because I'm like, oh, I don't have enough money to buy anything right now. So I don't want to look at it because I don't like to window shop sometimes. But I'm just watching out for sales. And if you do have any like thrift stores, consignment shops, places, that's a that's a place where you might be able to find some used stamps. Those are cheaper, like just the rubber ones. You don't have to have fancy acrylic, nothing, you know. But anyways, so back to let's go back to this other option because I wanted to show you this. This is a really cool thing. I know I got this one at Target. They do have one on Amazon. I think the one on Amazon's a little bit pricier, and you can't see it, so I'm going to have to hold it up. So it's this on the top, and it's a pen holder, and it has a flat bottom. And so when you set it down, this is my countertop here, and you can push this down. It's kind of hard to hold on to and do at the same time. You can push this down, okay? So it does sit flat on the counter. And I love this thing. It's really cool. And it's pink. How about that? So when I went through my pens last night, I always like to see what people write with. Pens don't get enough YouTube time. I got to scratch my eye real quick. Feels like I got a hair in it. It's probably from my bangs, don't you think? Okay. So I went through and I had all of my pens strung out on my desk. And I went through, I had my color code list, and I picked out some colors, or picked out some pens of the different colors. So we'll do blue. These I think I got at Target, which again, I know some people don't have that, but I'm just saying. But these are the gel type of pens. I do have a white one like this that writes on black, and I really like it. This is a mild liner. You know what? Everybody loves these things, and I think that the pastels are great. I don't think that they're all true to color like what this shows. Some of them are kind of dark too. I don't know. It's just my opinion. A lot of people love them though, but whatever. And then this is a darker blue, just like the other gel that I just showed you. And then here's that brand again in this blue. And so I can use those different options, whether it's writing in that color, making this tick box in this color, highlighting in this color. Did I already say that? I don't know. I have options for that. For pink, I have a friction pen. And it doesn't have to be the same shade either, as you could see. A zebra mild liner. Yes. They're awesome. Sarah. Sorry, I couldn't get my brain to work. I I usually had the clicker ones, but these work really well too. They're all the same. And I just showed you the blue one, or the green one rather, and the highlighters. And I like their highlighters too because they are pastel colors. And they work. They all erase. They're awesome. And they write nicely. Um, Also, speaking of that, some people say that they I don't have them running out of ink. I don't think they run out of ink like crazy fast by any means, but they do have refills for them. So you have to compare prices like that and see if it's cheaper to get refills or if it's cheaper to just buy a new one. You see what I mean? But yes, I do like them. And here's the pink in this brand that I chose, I should say, because there's a couple of pinks. So then I have pink. And then I had this kind of fun orange. It's kind of like a neon. I don't know what colors are showing up on the monitor, but friction orange. And then mild liner. That is kind of a yellowy orange, but it's not. It's more, in my opinion. Well, I'm going to start coughing now because I've been talking and I haven't got a drink. So 1 minute. It's more orange than yellow, in my opinion. And it's not true to color on that screen because I can tell you that right now. I'm looking at it. Then I have, for green, I have this Ink Joy. I have a mild liner. You can tell the color variation, I'm hoping, a little bit at least. And then this is kind of a greeny blue, but again, leaning more towards the green, in my opinion, for my eyes. And so those are my green options. I'm almost done. And I am purple, another friction pen. I probably bought these in a set. A gel and a lavender, and then the pastel friction purple highlighter. And this, remember how I showed you in here I don't have a yellow? You know, like the big chunky, what is it, Sharpie? I don't know what brand it is. Those big yellow highlighters we had in school. Well, anyhow, this is all I laugh at myself. This is all I had. The ones that you can clip on. That's so funny. So this is all I have for yellow right now. Isn't that so funny? And yellow's Instagram. So it's like, I'm going to have to get another highlighter. That's funny. So obviously that that yellow is going to have to be a highlighter, right? Because you can't write in yellow. You can't see the darn thing, you know? So I just thought that was funny though, because like have all these options, like, oh, look at all these blue pens and pink. And I was like doing all the colors and I'm like, I don't have yellow. And then I saw that little tiny thing and I thought that was so funny. Okay. Woo! Don't dump out your water or your tea, rather, whatever you're drinking. Now I got to get up and go get a tissue because I spilled a little bit of it. At least I have the things with kind of within arm's reach. Okay. How long have I been on this thing? 48 minutes. All right. So I found this bag somewhere at a resale something store. And I'm not going to go through all of these, so don't freak out. But I want to show you anyhow. Let's see if I can grab them all. Most of them. Let me lay these down here. I'll just share some tips. I mean, show a few of the pens, but I wanted to share some tips again, okay? Because I kind of know some stuff. And it's just through trial and error, you know? So why not learn from somebody who's already done it? All right. So I have like 4. Well, this is kind of a blue-gray. Again, I know that ain't going to show up right, but I'm telling you what it is. So I keep a lot of these Sharpies. The fine ones, or ultra fine, I guess it is. Because these write on the slick things. When I order things on Etsy, when I buy stickers and things like that, I don't ever buy glossy. And I'll tell you, the matte cheaper anyway. So there's your other tips there. The matte's cheaper. So just get that. Because then you can actually write on it. But those Post-it tabs that I use for my tabs in my planner, I use these to write on those because I love those tabs. And while they're not glossy, it's just that different texture that the pen won't stick to, and it smears and rubs off and all the things. So I always keep a lot of these. I keep them in my house too, to just have handy to write on things. The other thing, and I do like this, like I said, this is a bluish gray, darker color. I like that. Let me make sure I'm showing here. A lot of people like these microns. I saw someone on YouTube, and she uses the PN, which stands for plastic nib, I discovered. And these write better, and I haven't had any of them explode. As you might have seen these pens explode. These aren't my favorite pens, but I do like them. And I got a purple one and a black one in the plastic nib. Again, you just buy as you can and build your collection. This is the white. And I want to show you that one. It's my next action page. I know which one it is. So let me turn right to it because I have it labeled. So these are the tabs, or a kind of tab that I have. But right here, this is where I wrote in the white gel. It's kind of cool. Put that back on there so I don't lose it. And I also like, for drawing or writing out headers, when I label the tops of my pages, I usually use like half boxes, like that people use in like their Erin Condrens, kind of like that next action tab. Trying to show another example here. Let's see. Well, this one I put at the bottom, but this will work. Pinterest boards on there. But sometimes when I write on those, I'll use a glitter type of pen. Kind of make it a little bit more fun because I'm always writing in black. And so I just pick up different things. This is a Pentel Sparkle Pop. It's purple. This one's black with sparklies. And I think that's all. I do like these Sharpie pens. This is what I'm currently using in a black version for my planner right now. Oh, here's another different blue and the plastic nib, pen, whatever, Sharpie pen. And then I do have some of these as well, the other kind of Sharpie pen in my bag. A couple other colors. You guys, this is going to sound really funny, but I like to write in gray ink and brown ink. Sometimes I really do get tired looking at black. And blue to me is like a color of, Christina. You know what I'm saying. Sounded stupid. Blue is like a color like purple, red, orange, like that to me. Okay. But I don't know why. I've had this pen. It came in a set. I don't even know what it is. Oh, here we go. Papermate Ink Joy 100 RT, and it's a 1 point. It's just a little cheap clicker Ink Joy. Writes really smooth. I love this pen. And it's brown. It's dark brown. Well, guess what? This set that I bought of those Sarasas, I guess that's how you say it, has a brown, and it has a light gray, and it has kind of this grayish brown. Maybe if I hold them up together, you can kind of see the variance. See? That one almost looks like a rose gold, but it ain't. It's brown. So I have those in there because it's something different. And I also like the dark. Remember I had that Sharpie that was a grayish blue. That's kind of what this pen is. And I love the 0.38. Some people don't like them because they kind of feel like almost too thin, almost like it's scratching your paper, but I like them. It's all in how you hold your pen. So um, it's all in how you hold it. Oh yeah. See, I just really like this. It's a different kind of color. You know what I mean? To where you don't have to write in black all the time. Another thing that I do, Sarah, is for cheap stuff is as I hold up a Tombow, is you can buy these singly at Michael's. Maybe Hobby Lobby. I don't know. I don't have a Hobby Lobby. I just have Michael's. So you can buy them singles, even though you may end up spending more in the long run. But having $2 or $3 over having $25 is cheaper, right? So you can buy the colors that you actually like too, So maybe that's worth it. But anyhow, I'll take this brush tip and just kind of go like that, and then I'll write over it. And I've done that for like date headers for like days of the week on my page, or whatever, and just write over the top of it. I put this down first. So it's a little tip I have. But anyways, most of these other ones are just duplicates of the 0.38. I do like these two. These are 0.5. They're that same brand, Sarasa Clip. Those are made by Zebra, by the way. And it has the clip here like this. And then I do have a Papermate flare in here. I don't know. I'm kind of trying, and I do have this metallic marker too of the gold. But I'm trying to, I kind of like those fine liners sometimes, but I was trying to have like a few other options where I have just a fine line pen. And that's why I like those 0.38s. Because it writes finer. But I don't like a super skinny, which a lot of my pens are, because they don't make fat ones. I don't know. I think that's why I like this Sharpie pen. I just pulled it out of my planner. And then, too, Sarah, like these little black, let's see if I can pull it. These are off-brand pen holders, like the Lutrum pen holders. These things, they're made by 3M, okay? They stick very well. And they're not, you know what I mean? They're not like the Lutrum or whatever it is. But I got like 9 of these for like, it ended up being like $9 or something, I think. Like $1 a piece was what it averaged out to be. So, it's just like finding different things like that. Now, sometimes you get burned by doing things like that, because then you get something and it really is cheap. So you kind of just have to talk to people and ask around, I guess. But anyways, so the bottom line is I'm really excited about the Michael's classes. I'm excited about Patreon getting up and running. I want to do videos on there too, where I'm live. Like, I don't mind being in front of the camera. I've accepted myself. I'm 40 years old and not everybody likes me, but guess what? I don't like everybody either. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how the world is. And I want to make some little smaller groups, to where more focused groups, because not everybody is at the same level or same, like some people set more goals, some people do more projects, some people want accountability, some people don't, some people want to decorate more. I do like decoration, but I don't have to have it. I use, most of my stickers are functional. You know what I mean? So it's just, everybody's different. We're all unique, and we're all have different circumstances and situations in our lives. And so I just kind of wanted to pare down and make some smaller groups on there and help where I can. I'm not an expert, but I've been planning since I was 13 years old in 7th grade. I've used a paper planner forever, and I like it. I do change, my style has evolved. Obviously, I do change planner systems, which the system is what you're using, like disc bound, ring bound strings or whatever. I did pull this beauty out. It's been sitting on my desk wanting attention, so I'm going to show this real quick. Basically, I just put some inserts in here as a traveler's notebook in A5 size, and I pulled it out because, again, I don't want to carry every single thing with me. And so most of this will be dedicated to my 24 plan, but it also has one insert in here for homeschooling that I started taking notes in before whenever I was in this as a planner. And so, yeah, I hear you, Sarah, using kids' crayons and stuff. I mean, and pens and stuff. I mean, you can use whatever you have. You know, you just kind of have to play around and you know, add your own things. Yeah. Oh, Crayola pens. I'm with you. Well, even crayons. We're never too old to use crayons either. But anyways, so I pulled this out, and you know, I got so tempted. I was like, oh, I missed this thing, and putting in the inserts last night, and I was like, no, we're not going down the rabbit hole. Stay out of the rabbit hole. So you can use your other things for other things. I can use my traveler's notebook for certain things besides my main everyday carry, and you can still have the best of all the worlds, you see? So I pulled that out because I really do love that, and I love the purple. It's so fun. And I kind of like the classic stuff, you know, but I also like a lot of some color and some pop sometimes, and making it more fun. You don't have to stick with blacks and grays, even though that's kind of where I tend to gravitate. But anyway, all of my stuff too, I put back into this makeup bag. And the other thing I have in here, can be this, and this can be what I grab if I do. If I do need to grab things to put in my purse, which I usually don't. If I take it out and about, I usually just take my planner the way it is. But if I'm moving upstairs and downstairs, I'll probably just grab this whole bag because it's already put together. But scissors, adhesive, whiteout, Sharpie, a little mini ruler, binder clip, sticky notes, and then those Post-it tabs are basically everything that's in here. I carry some of those adhesive pockets in here because sometimes I'll feel like slapping that on a page or a divider. And then I got one of these finally. This was something that I'd been wanting to do for a long time. And I finally got it bought. And I found this lady it was so cheap. It took more sweat equity to put this together than it did to purchase it. I already had one of these binder rings because I use these a lot to make flashcards and things. And then I bought these little things, whatever these things are called, 25, I think, to a pack. And then I put my washi on there. And that's so fun. And now look at all the washi I have, like carrying around with me. And from that same gal, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. From the same gal, I bought samples that came on washi cards. So once I use these samples up, I can put more on there. So I'll have 2 more cards. And then I ordered a 5-pack of those washi cards. So I put my faith ones, my Christian faith ones on here, on these 2. And then some other ones of my favorite ones on these. Look at those eggs and bacon. I think that is so funny. So my point is showing you this last thing here. I'm going to wrap this up soon. Is look how much washi I have and how condensed it is. And it's not in this box that is just crazy madness. So I was really excited about that. And it fits right in this little bag. That black and white stripe bag is in here. Some of those adhesive pockets are in here. And I did buy this from the Happy Planner line. I'm always looking for fun Post-its. That's one thing, Sarah, speaking of Etsy and cheap things, that I've haven't looked enough. So at this point, I've not been able to locate a cheaper Post-it note seller on Etsy. They're usually $3, $4 for one. And the thing is I know from personal experience that only the Post-it note brand or nicer brands, this is okay, but like Erin Condren or something like that is going to stick. Those Target dollar bin sticky notes do not stick like a Post-it note. Okay. Yes, you can use adhesive and put it down on your page and have it permanently stuck. But they don't even want to tear off. They're stupid. And I know people buy them all the time, and because they're cute, you get sucked in because they're only $1. But anyways, and then both of my photo albums, which aren't in here at the moment because one's in my hand, obviously, and the other one's down in this bin that I threw in there before I started this video. And then this can all fit in that makeup bag, so I can just grab it and go. And then, like I said, in this, I'll have just one option of the color coding things. And so then I may be able to get this to fit in there too, but we'll see. The point is that sometimes I work back here at in my den, at my desk. Sometimes most of the time I'm in my living room. And then sometimes I do carry it downstairs. I've been carrying my planner down there every single night. Sometimes I look at it, sometimes I don't, but it's down there with me in case I want it. And my biggest struggle with that so far has been needing the light. And so my solution for that is to use my phone. Do I still have? I don't even know. Like I'll just start an email and save it as a draft. That's what I do a lot of times because I usually empty it out the next morning. Or you can, if you're going to type more than, I don't know, you can use Docs. Docs takes a little bit to come up though. Like starting a new one or trying to find the one that you want to do. Because I did a doc and I named it Thinking in Bed, which is, AKA can't turn the light on. So, but then I was always having to scroll through all my stuff to find it. And I don't know, just didn't like it as well. But that's been the struggle with taking it downstairs if Tony's asleep. I mean, if I'm up feeding her, the lamp is on and I usually have my planner open at that time. But yeah, it's taking it's wherever you're at, take it with you to room, because that's the only way you're going to use it. And I don't think anything's stupid to write down. I think you should write everything down. There's been times where I wrote stuff down and then I'm like, somebody else probably thought, oh, why'd she write that down? But then I'd end up referencing it later and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I wrote that down, And the thing is you don't have to remember everything. And that's the whole point of paper planning is that nobody's going to delete it. Okay. That's what happens. Nobody's going to delete it. You can walk around with it, hold it in your hands. There's been all kinds of studies on writing on paper and all the benefits that has. And you don't have to remember everything because if your brain's trying to remember to buy milk, you can't think and make decisions. And so that's why I plan on paper. And it's turned into a hobby for a lot of people. They like to decorate and they're trying to merge scrapbooking with paper planning, and that's fine. People have the right to do whatever they want, obviously. But I just like to have my brain empty. There's a lot of stuff going on in my head. And there's a lot of ideas. I'm always thinking of ideas and I need to get them emptied out before I forget them. And also so that I can plan, expand upon those and make that happen for me. Nobody is going to make things happen for you. You have to do it. And it just helps me to see things, to empty my mind out, to see things, and then plan it out and at least work towards it. Do something to make progress every day. I'm not perfect. Nobody is, does not exist. Let go of perfection. It's only going to happen when we're gone. So I think that's all for now. I set a budget of an hour and I'm at hour and 10. That's not too bad, right? For a chatty chit chat with Christina. I think that's what I called it before, but then I called this one chat with Christina. So anyways, I want to do more of these, which I will do. I didn't really have a huge plan for this video. I just wanted to show my face and just talk with you guys and share some just tips and tricks with you. And I hope that you learned something. And thank you for watching live for those of you who did. And thank you for watching later if you're going to catch this encore. But anyways, have a beautiful day. And that's all for now. Bye.